Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first video on my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a very simple method of making a typical or traditional granny square. So I'm using a 5mm hook and 5-ply yarn. Alright, so let's get right into it. So for this method, I'm going to be showing you how to make the granny square by using the simple magic ring. So the first thing to do is to make a slip knot. Now, if you don't know how to make a slip knot, here's how to do so. It's very simple. So you just pretend as if you want to tie something, right? You want to tie something, and you can use your fingers to just bring it out like this. And then you can insert your hook into it. Or take the short strand and just insert your hook like this and pull it out. Okay, so this is a slip knot. Now, if you want it to be a bit tight on your hook, hold on to the longer strand and the short strand and just pull them like this, okay? And they'll be tight on your hook. I think I'm going to make a separate video for this, but basically you just put it here, the longer part of your yarn that's connected to your ball, you just put it in between your pinky finger and this finger here and rest it across. Okay, these two, bring it in front and hold on to the slip knot with your thumb and your middle finger. Now, I said I'm going to make a separate video. Let me know if you would like a separate video on how to hold your yarn. Now we're going to go ahead and make a chain of 4. A chain of 4 should suffice, but feel free, in case you're using a smaller hook size or a bigger hook size, this number is not set in stone. Okay, feel free to try different chains because you don't want your circle to be too big, since we're not using the regular magic circle. So I'll make a chain of 4. That should suffice. And then I'm going to go into the first chain I made, just any side. I'll go into the first chain I made, and then I'm going to make a slip stitch. So I make a slip stitch by yarning over and pulling up a loop. I have 2 loops on my hook, and then I'll bring the first loop out of the second loop. Now we're going to be working into this hole, not this one. This hole is made from the chain by putting our hook into the first chain. So not this one. A lot of beginners make that mistake of working into this. We're going to be working into this hole here. So you can put your fingers into it like this, so you make sure you don't lose sight of it. Now, a square has how many sides? A square has 4 sides, right? So the first round of our granny square is going to be made up of 4. So we want to get our 4 sides of the square. And now it's called a granny square because it's made up of granny stitches, and a granny stitch consists of a cluster of 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets in one space or in one stitch. Now we're going to start with a chain 3, and in this case this chain 3 is going to count as 1 double crochet. So we've made the first double crochet. There's these 3 chains, and then we're going to make 2 more. So yarn over and go into the hole. Now I'm going to be working around this so that I don't have to weave it in later. Yarn over and pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook, and then yarn over. I'm going to pull through the first 2 loops. I have 2 loops, and then I'll yarn over and pull through the last 2. So now I've made the second double crochet. I'm going to make the last one. So I've made my first cluster. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, go into the circle, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now in this case, we're not starting with chain 3 that makes up a double crochet. That was just for the first one, okay? So we're going to make 3 double crochets again. So we're going to repeat this 4 times. So we'll have 1, 2, then we'll do 3, 4 to make our first round of the granny square. After every cluster, we make a chain of 3, okay? So the chain of 3 sort of acts as the corner. So let's say this is at the sides, and then the chain 3 is the corner of the square. So chain 3.
Stay home, put our to-do list on ice. Crank the AC to 79.
Now it looks like I don't have room on my circle, so I'm just going to move. You hold on to the circle and then you pull them so that I can have more room to work. Now I'm done making it, but you can see that this square doesn't look complete. So I'm going to make the last corner. So I'll chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now to end this round, we're going to slip stitch into, let me use something so you can see it. We're going to slip stitch at the 3rd chain. Remember, we started with a chain 3, right? We started with a chain 3, so I'm going to slip stitch into the back loop of the 3rd chain. So this is the back loop. The front loop is this one facing me here, okay, this one facing you, and the back loop is this one here, the one close to my finger. So count. So this first V, we can call it a V, and it sort of makes a V. Okay, so this is the first chain, second chain, and 3rd chain. So I'm going to work into the back loop here to make my slip stitch. Can you see the back loop? And then I'll make a slip stitch like this. Now, personally, I prefer to start every new round at a corner, like I said, so I don't have to rack my brain. Oh, I'm making half a corner. No. I want to know that when I'm done with each round, I know that my square is complete. Even though I've made a slip stitch here, I'm going to make 3 more slip stitch. I want to arrive here at this corner. I want to always start a new round at a corner. So I'm going to go into the next. So this is a stitch. Can you see underneath these 2 V's? So here I'll go underneath the both of them and I'll make my second slip stitch. So I'm making 4 slip stitches in total. I'll go to the next one, this one here. I'll make the 3rd slip stitch, and then finally I'm going to go into this gap here and I'll make my last slip stitch. Remember, I said I wanted to arrive there, and you can see it sort of even gives the granny square like a defined shape. So now I have my square, my 4 sides, and my 4 corners for round 1. At the start of every new round, we're always going to chain 3, which is going to count as a double crochet, just like we did when we started. So go ahead and chain 3, and then we'll make 2 double crochets into this gap. So now it's going to be a bit different in round 2, okay, because we have more spaces to work into. So just follow along. So I'll make 2 more double crochets into this gap. Now, how the granny square gets bigger is by making increases in each corner. So this is a corner, this gap is a corner, okay? Now, to make an increase here, we've already made, these are 3 double crochets, right? Instead of just going to this next one, no. We're going to chain 3 and make another set of clusters in this same gap. That means I'm going to make 3 double crochets in this same gap. So you see this thing I just did now, I'm going to repeat. You see this increase? I'm going to repeat it in the next 3 corners. Now to go to the next one, I will chain 1. So we're going to repeat it here. Here I'll make 3 double crochets, chain 3, and make another 3 double crochets right in the same gap. Remember, because we were starting a new round, that's why we started with chain 3. But once we're past there, no more chaining 3, which counts as a double crochet. So I've made my first set, so I'm going to chain 3 and right into the same gap. I'm making another 3 double crochets. So to go to the next corner, I'll just chain 1, then make an increase here. That's 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets again, all in the same gap. So I'll meet you at the last corner. Okay, so I'm done, and as you can see, the granny square has gotten bigger. Now I want to end the round because there's a gap here, so I want to connect it so that we can end the round. So before I do that, I'm going to chain 1, and then with how we slip stitched for the first round, we're going to repeat the same thing. So I'm making a total of 4 slip stitches.
Right here, and there ain't a palm tree in sight, but there's not a cloud in your blue eyes.
And you can see I feel like it just gives the granny square, I don't know, definition, it gives it closure compared to, at least for me, compared to slip stitching maybe at the first chain. So to start a new round, we'll just repeat the same thing that we've been doing. So we'll chain 3, and this chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So into this gap, I'm going to make 2 more double crochets to have a total of 3. Now remember that this is a corner, and for every corner we make an increase. That's how our granny square gets bigger. So I'll chain 3, and then right into the same gap I'll make 3 double crochets. So here, this is not a corner, so I'm not going to make an increase. It has gotten bigger, and that means more spaces. We only make an increase at every corner. This is a corner, this is not a corner, this is a side, this is a corner, this is a side, this is a corner. So here I'll just chain 1 and make 3 double crochets here, no increase. Now I want to go here, I'll chain 1. When you want to go to the next side, you always chain 1. But when you're making a corner, you chain 3. So now I'll make 3 double crochets here, chain 3, make another 3 double crochets, all in the same gap. And that's what we'll do until we get to the end. So here we'll make a corner and increase here in this corner. Here we'll just put 3 double crochets. At the next corner, we'll make an increase. Here we'll not make an increase, just 3 double crochets. Here we'll make an increase. Here we won't make an increase. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. I've gotten to the end of this round, so I'll chain 1 to connect it to this corner, chain 1, and I'm going to stop here. If you want to continue, you can continue, but I'll stop here, and then as usual we'll make our 4. So even if I want to stop here, I'm still going to make that, because look, I don't know, I just feel like it looks awkward if I just slip stitch and stop here. So I'm still going to make the 4 slip stitches just to give it that more clean, you know, and polished look. Even if I stop here, I'm not satisfied, so I'll stop here. Can you see? It just makes it more rounded, in my opinion. Like, it just makes it complete. So if you want to continue or go to another round, like if you want to make it larger, you just do the same thing. You chain 3, make your corner here, right? Chain 1, just put in 3 double crochets here because this is not a corner. Here you also chain 1, then put in 3 double crochets here because it is not a corner, okay? And then here you make your increase. That's 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, all in the same gap. So the principle just remains the same if you want to make it bigger. So of course here, as I'm done here, so I'll chain 1, right? If I want to end it here, I'll chain 1, I'll cut off maybe up to here, pull it out like this after cutting it off, and then I'll weave it in. So let me know if you enjoyed. This is my first ever crochet tutorial, so if I made any mistakes or it was not so clear, just let me know your feedback in the comment section, and I'll take them into consideration when making the next tutorial. But I hope you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video and subscribe so I can take you along on my crafting journey, you know, and just hopefully put out more tutorials. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.